I'm KTAR reporter Allie Vettner. This year, I told the story of firefighters who are denied workers' compensation even though they have a cancer that's listed on a law that said if they have this, it should be presumed it's from their job. Slight background on that law, it says that if you're a firefighter that's worked 5 years in hazardous duty and your cancer is one of the 21 listed, you should be protected by that law. Although, many firefighters are not. This whole project started at the end of July when I was approached by Austin Peck and his family. I started to understand his story of not only his cancer diagnosis, but also his denial for workers' compensation. It quickly snowballed into not only one firefighter's story, but then 4. And with that, I heard their similar stories of denial, their similar stories of the doctor that essentially referred them their denial, and what their city's responses were. After I heard the stories of the firefighters, I reached out to their city and their city's insurance company. And with that, I also reached out to the independent medical examiner, who's a doctor that essentially examines the firefighter and decides if their cancer is from the job or not. All of the firefighters that I interviewed confirmed to me that their independent medical examiner was Scottsdale-based Dr. Jason Salgonic, who said in court documents that we obtained that he's seen roughly 20 to 30 firefighters and never once linked their cancer to the job. This is when it became clear to me that this whole process was very systematic in the way that cities and their insurance companies handle this whole process. Although Goodyear firefighter Gilbert Aguirre is still battling to get his claim approved nearly 5 years after his cancer diagnosis, his city recently sent a letter to their insurance company asking that Dr. Jason Salgonic is no longer hired to conduct these independent medical exams. And with that, they also asked them to review any recently pending or denied or adjudicated cases that he may have been involved in. The city of Chandler is self-insured, and they recently told me that they're now allowing 3 previously denied firefighters to get a second opinion for their independent medical exam. At the beginning of our investigation, I tried to find out how many firefighters had cancer and how many were denied or approved workers' compensation. There was no easy way for me to find out that information accurately. But at the end of October, the Industrial Commission launched a new online portal where it updates monthly where you can see firefighters' claims and their outcomes. At the end of this year, we brought you the story of Mesa Fire Captain Brian Jeffries, who's also the president of the Professional Firefighters of Arizona. He's been working at the state level for years, trying to better protect firefighters from not only getting cancer, but also trying to protect their benefits when they do get cancer. In our original documentary, I had conversations with Governor Doug Ducey and the Arizona Attorney General Mark Brnovich, who both said that they wanted to see changes when it came to this. Some of those changes were discussed in an ad hoc committee meeting at the state senate led by State Senator Paul Boyer, who was also in our original documentary. I attended all the ad hoc committee meetings where they discussed the firefighters' stories, they heard from the different medical professionals and the correlation of cancer, and they even watched and referenced our original documentary. At the end of all these ad hoc committee meetings, they came together and they offered a list of recommendations that they hope to see change going forward. Some of those include independent medical examiner reform, so the doctor that holds the fate of a firefighter's workers' comp needs to be specialized in their cancer. With that, they also want to see preventative statewide measures. And they also want to see some kind of fund or statewide stream of revenue supply money to the cities to offset their expenses.
We've heard in the last few months from experts related to causation and correlation. Dr. Burgess did a wonderful presentation about that. We all knew this before we passed this presumptive law in 2017. I think we did a lot of research on causation and correlation and realized that there is a direct correlation between the job that these firefighters and public safety members are doing and the cancers that they are encountering.
Several key players from our original documentary testified and advocated for firefighters and their families at the state senate, trying to get through to the different state leaders when it comes to protecting firefighters' benefits with cancer.
As I sat there in the exam room with my urologist, he nonchalantly delivered the news to me. You have prostate cancer, Mr. Benzing. The cancer cells are aggressive, and we do not know if it has spread to other parts of your body.
After nearly 6 months of investigating and telling the story of firefighters that have cancer and unfortunately attending one of their funerals, I've now been able to see this come to the state level. And not only are their stories being told, but also state leaders are now saying that we're going to get these recommendations across the finish line. And the first priority is to address the firefighters' claims that are being denied. And this very well could be a game changer.
Many
recommend recommendations A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and I, and attach supplemental items.
Members, you've heard the motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. The ayes appear to have it, so the motion carries.